The time entry screen is one of the most important screens in the system. From this screen, users perform daily employee time entry management tasks. To open the time entry screen, click on Manage in the menu, followed by Time Entries. Let's look at the legend first. Time entries are color-coded to make identification easy for the eye. The standard yellow and blue combination represents entries as they come from a scanner. Weekends are color-coded a little bit lighter. If they have been modified by a user, they will change to a different color, and to an even darker yellow and blue color if an export is locked. The other colors used are orange for holidays, red for problematic entries, gray for access only, purple for leave, and a few others. Let's return to the time entry screen. At the top we have a section that focuses on navigation through the screen. The first button to take note of is the Employees button at the top right of the screen. This allows you to select a new employee to work with on the screen. Once opened, you will see a list of departments on your left, and once selected, the relevant employees on the right. The Departments section includes a few management options at the top. A search box to search for a specific department. Select All, and select None, to switch between selecting all or none departments. You can use Expand All, or Collapse All, options to quickly open or close the hierarchy of all the departments. The final button allows you to show or hide disabled departments. You can navigate the hierarchy of departments by clicking on the plus or minus sign. Clicking on the plus sign will show the child departments of the selected department, while the minus sign will hide them. Click on the checkbox, or the white box next to a department to select or deselect it. Selecting a department with child departments will also select or deselect all the child departments in its hierarchy. Selecting departments will update your employee list on the right. The first Settings button allows you to switch between showing all, active, inactive or no department employees. It also allows you to change the ordering of employees, switching between, by clock code, or by name. You can also filter the employees by typing in the search box just above your employee list. The employee list displays the employee, their clock code, active status, and current department, if available. Clicking on an employee will select that employee for the time entry screen. Once selected, you can continue to navigate the time entry screen. The first part of the action bar includes the date selection for this screen. The first drop-down list gives you the option to quickly select preset date selections such as this month, last month, today or yesterday. Alternatively, you can customize the from and to dates using the two dates selection boxes. Click on Refresh to update the results of the screen. On the right-hand side of the action bar you have the option to run a recalculation of the date. Continue to the previous or next employees, in the order they are listed in your employee selection screen. Display the color legend, or change your screen settings. On the settings screen you have a variety of options to change. The first part allows you to change the type of entries you would like to view. All, if you would like to display every entry. Valid, if you only want to display paired entries. Invalid, to display only entries without a linked entry. And Modified, to display entries modified by hand. The Days option allows you to hide days that does not count as working days. This is only recommended, if example, you do not have shifts on weekends. The third section allows you to show or hide access-only entries. Access-only entries represent clock entries that are used for access only, and is not included in calculating final payroll times for the employee. Lastly, you can show or hide rosters if they are used in the system. And activate showing original clocking times instead of rounded clocking times. Let's return to the time entry screen. Below your action bar you have a set of quick view buttons. From left they are, 1. Details, displays basic details of the employee. 2. Leave, displays the last 20 leave entries of the employee. 3. Departments, which displays the department histories for the employee. 4. Batches, displays payroll batches to which the current employee is linked to. 5. Shifts, which displays all the shifts linked to the current active department of the employee. 6. Standard view, switches to the current display format of the time entries. 7. Calendar view, switches to a calendar view of all time entries. 8. Deleted entries. This button is only available if entries were deleted within the selected period. Clicking on it will display the deleted entries. 9. Audit trail, displays an audit trail for all deleted and modified entries. From here we are looking at the actual management of time entries. The display is divided by gray and dark gray rows, which represents a new day or weekend. The data displayed for each time entry, from left to right, is a checkbox for bulk actions, date, time, clocking type, which would be in or out, scanner name, status of the entry, open or locked, assigned shift, if applied, comments, added using the management tools, and then the time values. They are from the left: T for total time, N for normal time, OT for overtime, L for lunch, B for break times, and shift for the required hours. Finally, you have an Actions button in both the daily rows as well as individual entry rows. When using the Actions button on a daily row, you will be applying the action across the whole day. Using the row-specific button will apply the action only to the row in which you clicked. The checkboxes on the left allows you to perform bulk actions on entries. You can select all the entries for a full day, or select them individually. Once you've selected one or more entries, actions become available on the right of your screen. You can either change the type of the selected entries, or delete them. You will also notice that sometimes there are flags or exclamation marks next to the type of each entry. Hovering your mouse over the icon will give you an explanation of what it represents. The following icons are currently in use. 1. Flags to represent early or late in and out clockings. Red represents a late in, or early out, where blue represents an early in, or late out. 2. Exclamation marks to indicate that the times have been modified due to system rules. This would include rounding for early or late clockings, or splits that have been applied. You have multiple options available to add time entries. First, you can add via the Actions button on a day. Secondly, you can add by using the Action button in any specific entry row. If you use the Action button on an entry that has no paired entry, the system will automatically allow you to add only an opposite entry. Alternatively, it will adapt the start and end times of the entry you are adding based on the entry on which you clicked Add. For more on this, have a look at the Adding Entries help article. You are required to provide a comment when adding or editing entries. Candid responses can be added to the system to make commenting a little bit easier. Simply select and enter the necessary details for the changes you would like to make. Your other options available via the Action buttons are: 1. To edit the selected entry. 2. Add additional or new entries. 3. Change the type of an entry from into in or out. 4. Delete an entry. 5. Force a specific shift onto two entries. 6. Access FIF, which stands for Find It Fast. 7. Delete all entries for a day. 8. Recalculate all entries for a day. 9. Add leave via the day option for an employee. That concludes the overview of the time entry screen. Feel free to have a look at the other individual help articles that focuses on one topic at a time.